How's it going, everybody? It is Dennis, and we're back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, CONY, MSTY, Coinbase, MSTR, the underlyings. If you read the title already, you already know this video is going to be a little bit triggering to the fanboys and the fangirls of CONY and MSTY. Now, you might be thinking, why did I put such a title of do not buy Bitcoin, do not buy CONY, do not buy MSTY? Well, the reason is because, in my opinion, not financial advice, these funds are going to be going down. This is not a video for original investors. If you invested in CONY and you invested in MSTY back in their inception, if we go ahead and look at their all-time, if we look at the 5-year, if you bought CONY when it was around the $18 mark, and even then now you would be technically down on your NAV value. But if you bought back when it was around $15 or whatever it was when it came out, $18 on inception, and you held it to now, you would have paid everything back, okay? With MSTY, if we go ahead and look at the 5-year, right? When it came out, it was around $21. It's at $34.15. You have NAV appreciation and you have dividends, so that's great. But the thing is, if you are currently looking to buy these funds, if you're currently looking at buying Bitcoin, do not buy these funds. Do not buy Bitcoin. I see so many people on Reddit saying, I'm going in on MSTY. I'm going in on CONY. It's on Reddit, on Twitter, on YouTube, on all these platforms. There's people going into these funds without knowing what is coming up. We are currently in a Bitcoin bull run. Everybody knows this. We can make it clear, right? Just a month ago, we were at 65. We're at 87, right? In a month's time, we're up 31% and moving. We don't know where it's going to go from now, right? Some people think we're going to go back down. Some people think we've reached our peak. Some people think we're going to go to 100 or 200,000. Even if we do go to those numbers, Coinbase and MSTY or MSTR, the underlying, will follow likewise. And so will probably your CONY and MSTY funds if they're able to gain that upside. Now, sure, this will be fun in the short term, right? This will be fun in the short term while we're having this explosive growth and your Coinbase and your MSTR stocks are going up, and therefore your CONY and your MSTY are going up. Well, only MSTY is currently. If you look at CONY, CONY is not having a great time currently. But if CONY and MSTY continue to go up and continue to pay you these crazy dividends of $2 and $1 and $4 and $2 and $3, right? If they continue to pay you these dividends, it's fun, right? You're getting great returns. It's a great time. But what you don't understand is that it's gonna end. That's just how Bitcoin works, right? We could go ahead and look at the 5-year. When we had our bull run back in 2020, we peaked around 58, around the $65,000 mark. And what happened after that? We went into Bitcoin winter, right? That's what they call crypto winter, Bitcoin winter, whatever you want to call it. It dipped back down to the 16,000s. And what do you think is going to happen with Coinbase and MSTR when that happens? MSTR has a large position in Bitcoin. Coinbase is based on the cryptocurrency. So what do you think is going to happen with these funds that are trading on the underlying? This is what's going to happen. When we had that 2020 run, look what happened after it started going down. Coinbase went all the way down to the 50s, even to the 30s. And just now it's back at 278. Why is it back at 278? Well, because Bitcoin is up. It's that simple, right? So we have a bunch of people. I'm not going to talk about the people buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a whole different story. You have people buying Bitcoin, and you have people who bought here at 16, 17,000. And then you have people buying Bitcoin up here at 80, 90,000, thinking there's anywhere else to go. First of all, the returns on Bitcoin are not that good if you bought now, right? Even if you bought a month ago, your return on Bitcoin is only 30%. That's nothing compared to the runs that we had previously with Bitcoin, right? If you bought Bitcoin back around the 16,000, 17,000 mark back in 2022, when you should have been buying Bitcoin, then of course you would have had a great run. If you have 80% plus 80% here, and then up with, so you would have a 700% gain if you bought it back in 2022. Now that's impressive, right? That's like 7 times, 6 times gains right there, or 7 times gains if you bought back in 2022. But it's not 2022. If you're buying Bitcoin now, honestly, I don't know how to say it, but it's just a poor financial decision. Not coming from a person, I'm not a financial advisor, it's my opinion, but that's just a poor financial decision to buy Bitcoin now. But going away from Bitcoin and going into these funds, it's another point of bad financial decision. Why would you buy CONY? Why would you buy MSTY now, especially MSTY when it's reaching its top, right? We already seen this happen before with MSTY, right? We had the top right here, and then it dipped back down. And now we're going back up to the top, right? Then we have CONY. We had the top up here, dip back down. Top again, dip back down, and now it's trying to get back to the top, but it's not even able to get back to the top of where it was before. Sure, you received dividend income, but look, in that 1 year, you had negative 31.41%. Sure, CONY paid you 151% since inception, right? For a year, it technically would pay you around 151% since inception. And a lot of people have already received their original investments back. But we're not talking about those people. We're not talking about the people who bought at inception. We're not talking about the people who bought in 2022. We're talking about the people now on Reddit, on Twitter, and other social media platforms buying into these funds. Why are you buying into these funds when we're at the peak? We're heading towards the peak of Bitcoin. There's only a couple months left, 1 to 2 months. You will not gain as much as you believe. Even if you get a $2 dividend, a $3 dividend, sure, great, but you're not going to get back all the money you put in it. And there's people putting in crazy money into these funds. You will not get that money back quick enough. When that dips, it will dip hard, and all that money, if you decide to reinvest, it'll be even worse, because you reinvest that money back in that you received from CONY and MSTY, and it'll be even worse of an outcome. You will dip even farther, and you will lose even more. That cash that they paid you out, you will lose as well. That is why I'm creating this video, making this video to tell people who are looking at these funds. If you're looking at CONY and MSTY right now because you're seeing other people get gains, do not buy them. If you bought MSTY here, and if you bought MSTY down here, cool, I understand. Great time to invest right there at these bottoms. You're capturing all this growth, and you're capturing all this growth here, and you're capturing the dividends from the time of inception to now. That's great. That's a perfect way, a perfect time to buy these funds, right? If you purchased back then, you captured all those dividends from MSTY. If you purchased down here, you captured a couple of the dividends. Oh, what is it? 1 to 2 dividends, right? From MSTY, and you have NAV appreciation. Great. For CONY, if you bought over here, you have all this time to capture all the dividends that you receive. Also, if you continue to reinvest, you would have some appreciation as well. But in the end, you still end up down on NAV. Of course, you do receive dividends and you pay off your original invested amount. But do not buy now. Do not buy these funds now. Bitcoin is not the be-all, end-all investment. It goes through cycles. We know this. Trump won. He's a Bitcoin, he loves Bitcoin. He wants to make it the new currency or whatever he wants to do with it, right? All these countries are supporting Bitcoin, sure, cool, but that is not how Bitcoin works. Bitcoin goes through runs, and we're having another run as we do every single 4 years. Every single 4 years, we have a run for whatever reason. If you want to say it's election, if you want to say it's the halving or whatever it is, right? The halving of Bitcoin. You can say whatever it is, but just do not buy now. Buy later. Buy after the Bitcoin winter, right? When, like, just wait a little bit. Like when you have this little point right here, like in 2022, where you could buy for cheap, buy Bitcoin then, buy CONY then, buy MSTY then. That's when it's going to be cheap. That is when it's going to be cheap. And then wait for the next run. Wait for the next halving. Do not buy now. Do not listen to people saying it's going to 100, that it's going to 200. There's no way to know where it's going, because you know what happens. You know how Bitcoin works. Bitcoin is based on what people value it. If I think Bitcoin is worth 87,000 right now, I will buy it for 87,000. If I don't think it's worth that much, then I'm not going to buy it. There's nothing behind it. There's no financials. There's no company. There's no product. It's just an item that you put value to. So don't go out buying Bitcoin. Don't go out going buy MSTY and CONY just based on the returns of dividends from CONY and MSTY and the returns you see people making on Bitcoin. People bought these funds and people bought these coins when they were cheap. They did not buy them now. They're not buying them now. They're actually waiting to sell it to you. Okay? They made their dividends. They made their income. They made their growth from Bitcoin, and they're waiting to sell to you. And that is what's going to happen. You're going to buy at the high prices. They're going to sell the shares to you. Walk away with all the cash they made from CONY and MSTY. Walk away with all the cash they made from Bitcoin because they bought back in 2022 and made 700% return. And they're just going to hand it over to you. And you're going to hold the bag on the way down. So do not buy CONY and MSTY. And if you already did buy CONY and MSTY and you're watching this video and you bought it in the past month or two and you bought it at that peak, then do not sell, okay? It might seem counterintuitive, but if you bought CONY and MSTY and you're already in the position And if you're not already in the plus, right? If you're going down already and you're in the negatives, right? You bought CONY here and you're down in negatives, or you bought CONY here and you're a little bit positive, but you lost because, you know, you received the dividend, it went down in value, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And if you're a MSTY and you bought over here on the top, do not sell. The reason I'm saying do not sell in this case, if you're over here and you bought at the top, the reason being is because you will still receive dividends, because that's just how these funds work. They might be lower than what you expected them to be. They might not be as interesting to you, but still, if these funds continue to stay and hold the dividends at a steady rate, you will eventually make your money back. So therefore, if you're already in this position, do not sell. Of course, if you bought in the past week or month, do not sell. But if you've been thinking of buying in these positions, do not buy, okay? This is just how it works. It's a Bitcoin has cycles. We're going through one of those cycles, and buying at the top is not a great idea. As soon as people just regular people begin to talk about Bitcoin, as soon as the Google searches go up on Bitcoin, as soon as Coinbase becomes the #2 app and #1 app in the world to be downloaded, we have reached a peak, or we've become close, or we're coming close to the peak, okay? So not financial advice. It's my financial opinion. I'm just telling, if you haven't bought yet, do not buy. And if you've bought already and you bought at the top and it's coming down, just hold. Don't worry. It'll pay itself off. Hold it until the next cycle, and maybe you'll make your money back. Well, even if you don't wait until the next cycle, if it holds at 50% return a year, in 2 years, 3 years, you should make your money back if these funds stay where they are. So please, 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 do not listen to all these people telling you, buy MSTY, buy CONY, buy Bitcoin. It is not the time to buy. The time to buy was 2 years ago in 2022, at least for Bitcoin. Of course, these funds were not around back in 2022 when it comes to YieldMax, but when it comes to Bitcoin, you should have bought back in 2022. And for CONY, you should have bought in Inception, and MSTY, you should have bought in Inception. But now is just not the time to buy these funds. So please, 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 just don't buy them if you haven't already. Just hold off, buy something else, invest into something else. We're in a weird spot right now in the market, and we don't know where we're heading. So we'll see what Bitcoin does. Maybe I hope my opinion and my lookout on this on these funds and Bitcoin, it does not come true. Hopefully it continues to run so people could sell out and leave and escape if they're smart enough to time that. But I believe that we've reached the peak, or we're reaching the peak, and it's going to come down soon, and it's not going to be looking good. Okay. So that is with me. That is my video and opinion on Bitcoin, MSTY, and CONY. And that's just, that's just what I think is going to happen. No financial advice, just financial opinion. Just quick video trying to look out for my subscribers and anybody watching this video and being interested in CONY and MSTY. Don't listen to the influencers. Don't listen to me, because we're just people online talking for giving our own opinion. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Dennis. I hope you guys liked the video. Leave a like on the bottom, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week, when maybe we'll see what happened to Bitcoin. Maybe we'll go over next week what's happening with Bitcoin. Anyways, see you guys next week.